Hey guys, welcome to Deep Bhatia Photography. Today we will be watching and reacting to 5 portrait hacks everyone wishes they knew sooner, and I've never seen this video before, so let's see if I wish I knew these sooner. Alright, let's get started.
Now let's dig into the first tip, which is to fill the frame. The common thing that I see among beginner portrait photographers is this need to leave a lot of headroom above their subject. I did it when I first started out, so if you're doing that, don't feel bad. Utilize every single megapixel that your camera offers you and fill that frame whenever possible with your subject. If you're going to leave some headroom, leave a small amount so you can maximize the impact of your portraits. Here's a side-by-side for you to see how making this simple tweak can greatly improve your work.
What many people do is for their
Instagrams,
they keep a lot of headroom.
The goal of a great portrait is to hook your viewer and hold their attention hostage for as long as possible. One of the ways that I do that is by paying attention to the catch lights in my portraits. The eyes are the window to the soul, so you'll
a catch light is basically the round the circle in the eye.
Let's say you're taking a portrait
that is formed with light.
You'll want to stop for a moment just to take a look at your subject's eyes. Take a look at the things around you that are reflecting back into their eyes. If you don't have interesting catch lights, make them by using things like reflectors, or maybe moving to another spot where you can
reflectors
make them
are really
in the studio, it's a lot easier since every light source that you introduce into your shot that's placed in front of your subject will create these catch lights. Tip number 3 has to do with eye placement in your portraits. I didn't catch on to this until recently, and it's made a massive difference in my portrait work. Anytime you're photographing a person, you'll want to pay close attention to where their eyes are looking. A common thing you'll run into is when you're photographing someone who might be a little shy in front of the camera, they'll tend to look away from the camera with their face as well as their eyes, and this causes the white part of the eye, known as the sclera, to be more dominant and pronounced as opposed to the iris, which typically contains all of the beauty that is the human eye.
The iris should be in the middle.
I recommend one of 2 things. The best option is to instruct your subject to look in the same direction that their nose is pointing. And this way you'll get the iris to be centered and looking good. The next best option is to have them turn their eyes towards the camera,
so that you can see the
this
full
too can
iris.
sometimes cause the sclera to take up too much real estate in the eye. Tip number 4 is to focus on the lighting. To illustrate this point, I'm going to share a brief story with you. As a teenager, I remember going to Disney World and seeing different places around the park that were designated as Kodak picture spots. They were marked with signs and even had an example photograph at the location to validate that it was where you wanted to be if you wanted to take a good portrait. I remember I took out my camera at one of these spots one day to take a shot of my family, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why my portraits didn't look like the ones on the sign. Well, the reason, of course, is that depending on the time of day, the lighting is going to change. If you're there during golden hour, maybe you'll have a nice soft even light on everyone's face. If you're there midday, you'll probably have some harsh light that will make for less than flattering portraits. My tip here is quite simple. Find a location that has good lighting and then place your subject in that light. If you pick the spot with some cool building or landmark in the background, but the lighting on your subject isn't good, don't waste your time taking that shot.
Photography is all about lighting.
Then consider creating your own with a flash.
If there's no light, there's no photograph.
Draw a great expression. If you're taking a portrait of someone and they have a stale, boring expression, you're just out of luck. Sometimes we get so caught up with the location we're shooting in or the amazing lighting that we don't notice the look on our subject's face not being the most flattering. Talk with your portrait subject and put them at ease if they're nervous. You're going to take an amazing portrait of them, and sometimes just telling them that will go a long way in helping them relax and get into the shoot. One of my favorite tricks to get people to give me a great expression is to get them to play a character. I talked about this at length in another video that I'm linking in the cards above. These 5 tips are ones that I use every single time I'm in a portrait session, and they haven't failed me yet. Which one was your favorite?
The character.
Have one you'd like to add to my list? Head on down to the comment section and leave your feedback.
Alright. That was a very nice video. The first thing he said was headroom. He spoke about headroom, and obviously that's very important. If there's a lot of headroom, then it won't really look very appealing, and then it'll be more background focused, and it's like, how people take pictures for Instagram from their phone. They just click a button, and there's so much headroom, which doesn't really focus on the person. It focuses on the environment. Second, he said the eye placement. The eye placement is very important. Basically, if a person is looking right into the camera, their iris is right in the middle. So basically, my nose is here, right? And I'm looking where my nose is facing. So that's actually very important. And most of this white area shouldn't be shown. He was very nice with that. And one thing I didn't know from what he said was the character play. That's very nice. What I usually do at my portrait sessions is that I to make my clients feel comfortable, I tell them to take their phone out and play some music of theirs which they're comfortable with, and they get, and you guys, if you want to communicate with them better, you start talking to them, you start asking about their hobbies and everything. That makes them comfortable as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This was a very nice video. The link will be in the description for this video, and please follow my Instagram. The link is in the description, and please hit a subscribe and hit the like button if you like this video. Alright, bye bye.